Hey everyone, welcome to Season 3 of our Parent Podcast. I hope you had an amazing time of worship and study this week with our church family here at ABC. I'm Josh, youth pastor here at Acton Baptist, and I want to thank you for joining me on your drive, your lunch break, or that time you set aside just for this each week. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So we're finishing up this month's discussion on tough questions for our teens. I took last week off from producing our podcast simply because the topic's been a little heavy. We're constantly bombarded with heavy questions from our kids every single day. So, instead of tips today, I want to leave you this month with a bit of a story. I want to start by saying I don't equate my relationship with the student in this story as a parental relationship in any way. He had a loving mother who took great care of him, but his parents were struggling and were beginning the divorce process. Through daily tears, constant questions that he had for me that stemmed from, why did my dad do these things, to why does God hate my family? I sat through so many nights with him coming over to Kay's in my house just for some stability. Every question he had, every story that he told us of something his dad did or said that day, it made me more confused, more frustrated, more just angry. Until one night, we hit on what really was the root of his questions. Yes, he was upset that his parents were getting divorced. Yes, he wondered why. But this event was completely rocking his faith. He looked at Kay and I one night and asked, "How can I trust that God isn't going anywhere?" As a youth pastor, that question broke my heart. But as someone who cared for this student, this was a make or break question. It's amazing how the tough questions that we have in this world can bring up some of our biggest worries. So we poured into scripture together, we prayed together, and he kept asking just the same question but in different versions until one day his dad had heard that some of those questions he'd been asking, and he just pulled his son aside. He explained everything that happened between him and his mom. And even in the worst situation, I got to see a dad who, yes, had hurt his family, but he looked at his son and he admitted to him that his sin didn't affect who God was. It had to be one of the most important moments I'd walked through in my youth ministry. Parents, the worst situations that your teens run into can be opportunities for you to point them back to who God is. No matter the question, no matter the situation, I want to just challenge you to seize the opportunity to have a conversation about who God is and what He's trying to teach them in the lowest of lows and the highest of highs. We got a few announcements before we finish up today. This Wednesday, April 2nd, we're having our monthly after hours in the youth room from 8 to 10 o'clock. We'll be bringing out our Nintendo and playing a game of Mario Party. We've been doing this now for the last few years. Our kids love it. And they'll be teaming up to win our After Hours title. I want to personally invite you to stick around and join us and have some fun with your teenagers. Next, coming up in April, we're having our D-Now weekend, but we're doing it a little different. We're planning a Saturday full of Bible study, worship, and fun for our youth on April the 26th. Like I said, we'll have a full Saturday for our students that they will not want to miss. So, check out actonbaptist.com/youth for more info. And then finally, we're trying something new and creating a parent hub using the Grow app. It's a place for parents to communicate, to have our youth calendar, and to get updates on what's going on in our youth ministry. If you head over to actonbaptist.com/hsyouth, you can follow the link there to sign up. Thank you so much for listening today. Know that I'm praying for you and your family. If you haven't already, make sure to follow our social media accounts on Facebook and on Instagram by searching for AB Youth Min. Also, go ahead and share our podcast so our reach can go out that much further. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you here at Acton Baptist and on the Parent Podcast next week.